Your warm-up quiz will be 4 multiple choice problems. All you have to do is write A, B, C, or D largely on a small piece of paper and walk by and show me the answer. Problem number 1. The answer for the first problem should be B. Problem number 2. The answer for this one should be C. Don't forget that when you multiply a negative by a negative, you get a positive. Number 3. The answer should be D. Last one, number 4. Answer should be B. To review simplifying expressions with non-negative exponent. Here's an example. So with this one, it's just a very simple basic problem. We'll change the yellow here on the first one. If I multiply through first, since it's a small problem, if I do negative 2 times negative 3, I'll come up with x to the 6th. And if I do negative 2 times 4, I get y to the negative 8th. What's the only thing I have to do to simplify this problem now? That's right. Move it down to the bottom, y to the 8th. And this would be your final answer. And example number 2. On this one, you have a lot to look at first. Let's try to simplify as much as possible before we multiply by any exponents. What happens to this 2 over 4? What does it become?
4 over 8.
No, not 4 over 8.
4 over 16, sorry.
No, I mean just 2 over 4. What does it simplify to?
Oh, it becomes 1/2.
Yeah, just 1/2. So just put a 2 on the bottom. Don't worry about anything else. Now, what happens to this x to the negative 2? It goes down to the bottom, and when it combines with the x to the 2 on the bottom, what does it become? X to the 4th. So we'll go ahead and put that down. Now, what happens to this y to the negative 3rd? Goes down to the bottom and combines with the other y to make what?
Y to the 7th.
Y to the 7th. So we have this to start with there on the left side, and there's nothing on the top, so you just put a 1. So go over here and look at the 3 and the 4. There's nothing you can do to that right now. So we'll just put 3 over 4. Where does this go?
Down.
Goes down, and when it combines, it becomes what?
X to the 2nd.
X to the 2nd. Because you already had an x to the 1st on the bottom. If this goes down and becomes x to the 1st, you have 2 of them. So we have x to the 2nd power. Now y squared over y, what does that simplify to?
Just y on the top.
Y on top. And then you have a negative 2. So from there, if you start back on the left expression and square, 1 squared is 1. 2 squared on the bottom is what?
4.
And then x to the 4th to the 2nd. X to the 8th, and then y to the 7th to the 2nd. Y to the 14th. Alright, and then on the other one, we have to flip because it's negative. So let's start here and move it to the bottom and then do the square. So we have a 3 to the negative 2 that pushes it to the bottom. What's 3 squared? 9. And y to the 2nd power? Y squared. But it goes to the bottom because this exponent was negative. Now do the same thing to the bottom here. It's going to go to the top. 4 squared is what?
16.
And y squared is just, well, not y squared, but x squared squared is x to the 4th, yeah. Alright, so you can go straight across from there and have a 16 x to the 4th on top. We've multiplied this and this. And then on the bottom you'll have a 36. And then x to the 8th. And we have y to the 14th. Y squared is y to the 16th. Now you have to simplify your 16 over 36. What's the highest number that goes into 16 and 36? 4. 4 goes into both of them. Nothing else is higher. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. And 36 divided by 4 is 9. X to the 4th, I'll change colors here. X to the 4th over x to the 8th. What does that become?
X to the 4th on the bottom.
Yeah, x to the fourth on the bottom. And what about the y to the 16th?
Just stays.
It just stays there. So there is our final answer. For this problem, if you multiply through by your exponent, you would end up with 125 x to the 15th over y to the 18th. For the practice here, let's start with the 3 and 2. That's going to stay the same. But you have this x to the negative second that goes up top and creates x to the fourth with the other one. And this one goes to the top just like the x did and creates a y to the fourth. Now all of this is to the third power, but we'll save that for right now. On the other side, 3 over 2 will stay. But this goes to the top and creates an x to the third with the other x. Y over y to the third means just a y to the second is left on the bottom. So now we can go ahead and move and flip wherever we have to. On the left hand side you have 27 x to the 12th, y to the 12th, over 8. 2 to the third is 8. And then remember this is going to flip everything, so the top here is going to go to the bottom. That's 9x to the 6th. And then this goes to the top as 4y to the 4th. Let's cancel where we can. 9 into itself once, into 27 3 times. 4 into itself once, into 8 twice. And we can multiply straight across to get 3x to the 12th, y to the 16th, over 2x to the 6th. And we have to simplify those x's. 12 over 6, that's going to leave us with an x to the 6th on the top. The y to the 16th stays, and you just have a 2 on the bottom. On the left-hand expression first, what's going to stay? What's the first thing that stays put? 5 and 2. Now what happens here with this and this? That's right. This goes to the top. X to the negative third becomes positive. And then you add the exponents to get x to the 6th. What happens with this one?
Goes to the top and becomes what? Combines with the already there y to the second and equals what?
That's right. It goes to the top and combines with this one to make y to the 4th. And all of this is to the negative 2. Now on the other one, what stays put right off the bat? 5 and 2. Now, what happens to this one?
Goes down and combines with x and to be x to the fourth.
That's right. It goes to the bottom, combines with that one to make x to the 4th. And what about this one?
Goes to the top and combines with y to the third.
Yes, it'll go to the top and combine with the one that's already there to make y to the 3rd. And this one is to the 2nd power. Now, since this one is to the negative 2 power, what can I do with the top of that left-hand fraction? What? Yeah, you're going to flip the result down. So I'm multiplying every exponent in there by what? Yeah, by negative 2, and it's going to make everything go to the bottom, so we can go ahead and do that as we talk it out. 5 squared is 25, and then x to the 6th to the 2nd, x to the 12th, and then y to the 4th to the 2nd, y to the 8th, and it has to go to the bottom because that was a negative 2 exponent. What happens to this?
It multiplies by the negative 2 and it goes to the top. It becomes 4.
Yes, it'll become a 4 on the top. And then on the right side, do I have to flip anything? What's 5 squared? 25. Y to the 3rd squared. 2 squared. X to the 4th squared. All right, can I cancel anything? What can I cancel? Yeah, the 25s and 4s are all gone. So on the top, if I multiply left to right on the top, what's left? And on the bottom, what's left on the bottom? y to the 8th. And what still cancels out?
The y's, and then that'd be y to the second on the bottom, and then just put a 1 on top.
And then we'd have the x to the 20th that goes along with it. Yeah.